Hello everyone, I'm FMZ and this is episode 53 of An Englishman Abroad, a Journeyman Story. We find out today the conclusion to the Champions League first knockout round against Manchester City, as well as a visit from Barcelona in El Classico. Let's dive right into it. Run the intro. So following our last game with Manchester City in the Champions League, we took on Alaves at the Bernabeu and beat them by 4-2. Let's take a look at the goals from the game. Now Alaves took a shock lead inside 3 minutes from this one. Volley from Dinsinvois. Hope I said that right. I doubt I have. Anyway, we equalised on 7 minutes through Toni Kroos with a shot from the edge of the box. Goalkeeper helping it on its way into the net for 1 each. We took the lead on 13 minutes. Hackerman with good work down the right hand side with a ball into the box. There is Douglas Costa at the far post to head in for 2-1. Then we waited a long time for the next goal, near enough the hour mark for number 3 from our perspective. Hackerman doing the damage down the right once again. Bernardo Silva with the goal this time. Another unpronounceable name. We'll call him Henry because that's what he's named on the tab. Made it 3-2 before we wrapped it up in the 89th minutes thanks to Timo Werner, with Hackerman doing the damage once more. Werner heading into the net for Real Madrid 4, Alaves 2. We then welcomed Las Palmas to the Bernabeu and they were beaten by 3-0. Let's take a look at the goals from this game. Isco opened the scoring inside 4 minutes from the penalty spot, stroked it into the bottom corner for 1-0. Rodrigo made it 2-0 on 6 minutes, and at this point I thought it was going to be a bit of a demolition job. Luis with the ball in, Rodrigo with the header for 2-0, but we had to wait all the way to the 80th minute for number 3. Anderson with the initial header, Bale with a tackle for number 3 as we beat Las Palmas by 3-0. Then we had our first La Liga defeat of the season, and it couldn't have come against worse opposition in the form of Barcelona. Let's take a look at the goals from this one. So it proved that the sending off of Sergio Ramos on the 71st minute for 2 bookable offensive proved the turning point in this game as Barcelona looked to take control. Busquets with the ball over the top, looking in behind for Lionel Messi. He has scored so many goals in the Classico. This one will be one that he remembers quite fondly because Kepa had a bit of a nightmare. That was on 85 minutes. We did come straight back at them though, despite only having the 10 men. Umtiti with the mistake. Ter Stegen not covering himself in glory either as Werner equalised, only for Barcelona to win it in the 89th minute. Delgado with the ball down the right hand side. Played it into the middle. Bit of a defensive mix-up, but Juric put it in the net for Barcelona to give them a 2-1 win. And bang goes the unbeaten run since the start of the season, which I was most disappointed to lose, especially to Barcelona. And I was looking for a reaction against Malaga, and I didn't get it. Casemiro didn't help us by being sent off. So that's 2 red cards in 2 games from our perspective. The discipline has gone a bit out the window recently, but we still managed to take a point from Malaga. Let's take a look at the goals from the game. Now, despite Casemiro already being sent off, we did take the lead. Romelu Lukaku from a corner, from a tight angle, dribbles over the line, but they all count. But Malaga hit back in the 80th minute to make it 1 apiece. Ball over the top. Fasnich in behind and beats Kepa quite easily because he doesn't really dive for it. But it finished Malaga 1, Real Madrid 1. But you can always rely on Levante to give you a result, and they did today as we beat them by 2-0. Let's take a look at the goals from the game. Now, our first ever goal for Luis coming up. Man of the match as well. In from the right-hand side he comes and fires across the goalkeeper. It's a great finish for 1-0. We had 2 goals disallowed in the game, but we eventually added a second in the 90th minute. A shot from Gareth Bale. You ain't stopping that, as it finished Levante 0, Real Madrid 2. But we did manage to make it through in the first knockout round of the Champions League. Despite the game going to extra time, we beat Manchester City on away goals. Let's take a look at the goals from the game. Now, plenty of half chances in this one, but we waited to the 88th minute before a mistake by Kepa led in Robert Lewandowski as he made it 1-0. So I knew at this point we were probably going to extra time. Thankfully, we did equalise on the night. Gareth Bale with the goal at the far post to make it 2-1 to us on aggregate. Manchester City did find a second goal on the night. Brandst with the ball wide to Kieran Tierney, who sent the ball into the box for Lewandowski again. However, we managed to hang on just about for the remaining 18 minutes of extra time to make it through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League, and we'll see that draw shortly. And finally, for today's match roundup, we beat Athletic Bilbao by 5 goals to 0. Let's take a look at the goals from the game. We opened the scoring in the first minute, so that's always a good sign when you start really sharply. Miranda with the ball on the left-hand side, sending it into the box, headed out by the defender. Labatska rolling it into the bottom corner for 1-0. Now it says a deflection for number 2, but I think this is a bit harsh on Martinez myself. Labatska playing the ball into Dele Alli, who rolled it onto Douglas Costa to roll it into the bottom corner nicely, but apparently he hit Martinez for 2-0. We made it 3 on 13 minutes. Labatska, who was having a brilliant game at this point, rolled it into Douglas Costa, sent the ball towards the far post. There is Rodri to head in for number 3. We made it 4-0 just before half-time. Costa with another blitzing run down the right. Played it through to Rodrigo once more as he slammed it into the net for 4-0. And we wrapped it up in the 84th minute for number 5. Dele Alli with the interception with the ball into Werner, who sent it beyond the goalkeeper for Real Madrid 5, Athletic Bilbao 0 at the Bernabeu. So here it is, the Champions League quarter-final draw. 8 teams remain. Let's find out who we're going to get. So it's an open draw from this point on. So it's Arsenal, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Copenhagen, Porto, Liverpool, Leipzig and ourselves. Let's dive right into it. So the first club out are Leipzig. They will take on Arsenal. Porto will take on FC Copenhagen. Liverpool, please not Liverpool. Anybody but Liverpool is Liverpool. Okay. Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Bayern Munich versus Barcelona. So it is the team that we played in the group stage in the quarter-final of the Champions League. It's Liverpool over 2 legs for us. So here we are at the competition screen. So the Copa del Rey has been put on the back burner for a little while yet. The final's not until mid-May. So we can now focus on La Liga and the Champions League. And it's Liverpool for us again in the Champions League. Obviously, they beat us twice in the group stage. If they beat us twice in the knockout stages, we are out. The key thing is we have to try and get past Liverpool to make our board objective and reach the semi-finals. So we will be doing our level best to achieve that. In La Liga, we are 8 points clear of Atletico Madrid. We've had a bit of a blip, obviously losing to Barcelona, and then the draw with Malaga that followed meant we dropped 5 points from those 2 matches, which has not been like us. That was our first defeat against Barcelona, annoyingly as well. But we've still got a comfortable gap. I'm not panicking just yet. We've only got 11 league games to play, so they're going to have to do a lot to overhaul us, Atletico Madrid. Barcelona are now up into 3rd on 60, 14 points off the top. Their outside chance of winning the title is dwindling by the week. Valencia are down into 4th. Real Betis have got 5th place secured pretty much, but they are probably not going to make the Champions League. It is a bit like when I took charge of Betis and we started to fall away towards the end of the season, sadly for them. Down at the bottom, Sevilla Valladolid are bottom on 14. There's a 5-point gap to Granoa. Las Palmas have had a bit of a shocker and have fallen back into the bottom 3 on 23, but they're only a point adrift of Alaves, who have climbed out of the bottom 3. Villarreal still can't manage to pull away. Tenerife are just hovering above the line as well. Sporting Gijón are dropping like a stone as well. So it's probably anyone from them now. Athletic Bilbao, 7 points above the drop zone, should be safe. But we are getting to that time of the season where the points mean more than anything. And with an 8-point gap, we have just now got to see ourselves home. It's mid-March. The time to keep the ball rolling is now. We've had a bit of a blip, but the result against Bilbao will hopefully get us back on the right track. Obviously, we have got to keep one eye on Liverpool. Those are two massive games if we're going to make the semi-finals of the Champions League. Ideally, I didn't want to play Liverpool again, but that is how the draw gods have put it down. And that is what we're going to have to do to make the semi-finals this year. If you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel but like to do so, please click the subscribe button down in the corner. That was episode 53 of An Englishman Abroad, a Journeyman Story. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.